Hey,
Hey, hey, hey, hey, hey, hey, hey,
welcome.
hey. Welcome to Tale of Two Dead Girls. Dun, dun, dun. What did I do? What was that?
We made our own track.
We're trying to, I don't know, spice things up a bit. Anyways, I am your co-host, Kayla.
I'm Michaela.
And this is our Morbid mini episode number 8.
8. Yep, number 8.
Ocho. Anyways, this is a podcast where we talk about true crime and paranormal and literally everything spooky. There you go.
That's right. This is a podcast. We do talk about things that are scary.
Yeah.
Spooky.
And this is our Morbid mini, which is where we talk about we read your stories that you guys email to us, and sometimes we'll read stories from Reddit or, spooky articles that we find. So so today I am gonna go first. We did any, mini, miny, mo on my fingers before we clicked record. So I guess we'll just dive right into it. Okay, so first listener story is from our friend Yessie. Hey girl, hey.
Yes, girl, we love you.
So here is hers. Hi guys, I wanted to share this story even though it's not related to your theme. Okay, she sent this to us when we were talking about sleep paralysis. So this was a while ago. So she says, last year I had a big spider on my steering wheel that I couldn't kill and had my uncle drive down to where I was to kill it. Ha ha ha. In parentheses, she says, I'm a baby.
Same. Your baby.
Your baby. Anyways, this uncle has a lot of keys to office spaces and homes since he does side jobs everywhere. Once the spider was defeated, I drove down to Uncle Jim's house, which was close by. He picked up his guitar and said he's going to go to this spot to play his guitar and smoke a little weed. He's a badass uncle.
Hell yeah.
I joined, and we were at a small psychiatric office that was closed down since it was after hours and really late. We smoked a little, and I walked around the place feeling as if I was being watched. ...
Spooky.
I went to the break room area upstairs to get a spoon for my ice cream and had this overwhelming feeling I wasn't alone. I asked Uncle Jim if the place used to be a home because it was shaped pretty odd for an office, and he said yes, it used to be someone's house many years ago. She doesn't know the history. But I sat down. Well, that's what it said in parentheses. I
on parentheses? Oh, yeah. Okay.
I sat down on a chair and experienced the worst chest pain of my life. I felt like I was having a heart attack and asked Uncle Jim if anyone had passed away here because I felt impelled to ask this. I don't know why he told me yes. Damn. A doctor who worked there recently had passed away a few weeks prior to a ... you guessed it, a heart attack.
Damn.
I was so shook, and he was too. Yes, we were a little high, but my intuition was on point. I mean, when you're high, it's like, oh fuck, was that real? Oh yeah,
it's man. It's true. But I feel like you're also more sensitive. Like, drugs make you more sensitive to the other side.
Definitely, 100%. I believe it.
10 out of 10.
And I felt like the doctor didn't want us in the hospital, in his office, and was showing me symptoms he had experienced to get me out. We left shortly after, and I told my aunt, Uncle Jim's wife, that I felt chest pain and asked if anyone had died, and she was in shock too because she knew about the doctor who had recently passed away that worked there. I think I should toss in that my uncle is a huge jokester, so this story could be 100% valid or him trying to bullshit me. But anyways, I thought it was cool. Maybe people who lived in that home died there, or patients who passed away maybe visited after hours, and she put ghost emoji. Cute.
Love it.
I like this show a lot. Hope you guys air this. Thank you. Well, we finally did. 3 months later.
To our vegan fashion queen. Of course we're going to air your story. We love it.
Yes, and we love you. Thanks, girl.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, I have one from Alyssa I'm going to read. She says, "Hello, Kayla and Michaela.
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey. Let me start out by saying, hi, Michaela. My name is actually the same as yours. Now that I said that, I just found out about your podcast and cannot stop listening to them. I have somewhat of a story to tell, and I hope that you'll decide to put it on one of your podcasts."
Wait, that's so cute.
Here we go. I love it. So my story actually happened a few weeks ago. It's not too long or too scary or too long. Here recently, I've been having a lot of stress with my family and about the fact that my grandma could have had cancer, but thankfully she does not. There was one day in particular, we were in the kitchen of our home. She was sitting at the table and I was standing beside her chair. We were talking, just reminiscing and thinking about things. Also talking about what was going to have to be done for testing if she did have cancer. At this point, my mom and little sister and aunt had went out to do some shopping, so it was just me and her alone. As we sat there talking, we heard a noise come from another room, sounding like something had fallen over.
Yikes.
It sounds like, I always think, I don't know why I thought like cat. Like, is there a crazy cat, like, knocking things over? We went to investigate, but we never figured out what happened. Nobody was at the door. Everything was intact, and nothing had looked broken. In fact, it reminds me of another time where my mom, sister, and I went out to get McDonald's late at night, and my grandma was at the house by herself. My grandma and I had a little bit to drink, but a little bit to drink. I don't know why. I thought it was going to be a little bit too much, but a little bit to drink. But my grandma wasn't drunk. She was very much sober. Girl knows how to hold her alcohol. We love that. We get a call from her while we're out, and she said that she heard knocking on the door. She went to look at the door and saw nothing. So when she called her and she asked if she should call the cops, my mom said no. If nobody was out there, everything was fine. By the time we got back, I actually remember having the same thing happen while being with her. Though the first time it happened, I wasn't there. So I remember I looked at my grandma and said, I don't think someone was actually outside the house. Now that I actually think about it, I think it was your ringtone or your text message tone. The only reason I said this to her because she has a text message tone that sounds like knocking. So it was interesting. I hope this story was awesome or at least interesting. It's not too much and it's not real scary, but I figured I'd send it to you guys because you seem really cool. I love your podcast and I love the way you guys just talk to people. I actually started my own podcast on Anchor, but I don't really get people to listen. I'm just a random person and I do song covers or just talk, but I wish I had more people to do podcasts with. Thank you for your time, and if anything else happens in my life like that, I will be sure to send you guys a message. Keep up the great work on your podcast, and I enjoyed them. That's so sweet.
Oh
we
my
love you,
gosh.
Allison. What's your podcast name? Like, tell us. We want to listen to your podcast.
Wait, can we like find it? Can we like look her up?
We can reply. Maybe we can reply and like find out.
Okay, yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so cute.
I love that.
You're so cute.
So
thank you.
Sweet. That literally like made my week. That's so kind and wonderful, and I love it.
Yeah,
wholesome content.
Tell us your podcast. We'll listen to it. We'll share it on here.
Yeah, we will. Heck yeah.
Oh, you're so cute. Thank you so much for that.
Shout out, Allison. We love you.
And we love the story. Thank you.
Very wholesome episode.
Okay, so wait, actually, do you want to explain this?
Yeah, totally. So, we just like wanted to like mix it up a little bit. So I went on Reddit and I looked up like some real life experiences. I saved some like really cool paranormal experiences that we're going to read to you guys. And I also found some good, my favorite, alien abductions.
I was just gonna say it.
I love alien abductions. I'm super into it, and like the stories are just like weird and interesting, and it's like weird how either they like are similar or so different, like all these different experiences. While I was reading, I found this post and it was like, why are aliens obsessed with our anuses? Are they homosexuals or are they collecting farts? And I was like, what is
collecting
this?
Farts?
Like, who in the world? I don't know. I hope that's not what they're doing. Like,
they do pee out of their fingers.
Oh my god, yeah.
If you haven't seen Scary Movie 3, they pee out of their fingers.
When I was a kid, my mom took me to get like family pictures at the Picture People. Zero like. I hate it. And they were
What?
super mean to me and they made me cry. And so I talked my mom into buying me a movie, and she didn't know how bad Scary Movie 3 was, and she bought it for me on DVD, and I watched it like every day.
That's an
I was
amazing
like
story.
in the 4th grade. It shaped me, the person I
Except
am today.
the freaking ring part is really scary. Okay, so I guess this one is from Reddit and it's called Lights.
I named it.
Oh,
You're
you
welcome.
named it. Okay, she named it Lights. Michaela named
It was just
Lights.
from like an anonymous person, so.
Okay, so here we go. This is something I've been dealing with my entire life. When I was very young, I was terrified of people coming into my room at night while I slept, so much so that my mom would have to lay with me every night until I fell asleep. I was terrified of bright lights shining through my windows, so the curtain and blinds had to be closed at all times. I was also terrified of moving lights in the sky at night, planes, helicopters, etc. I never really had an explanation for it growing up, and my parents wrote it off as a typical little girl being afraid of the dark type of stuff, or even night terrors. As I got older,
Believe your children.
I know. As I got older, 12-ish, I started having horrifying bouts of sleep paralysis that, at their worst, were happening almost every night.
Damn.
These episodes would be accompanied by what I thought were dreams or hallucinations that typically involved being in a hospital-like environment. I've always had many dreams about being outside with a lot of other people, watching these huge ships maneuvering around like an airbase or hangar type facility.
Scary.
I also vaguely recall having a friend there with me, but anytime I tried to picture them, all I can think of is Snake. I have no idea what that means. These episodes still occur, but not nearly as frequently as they did when I was younger. My memory of these events are sketchy at best, and it feels like the harder I try to remember, the harder they are to recall. Recently, I did have a strange occurrence involving one of my hospital dreams. I dreamed that I was having blood drawn from some kind of test, and when I woke up, I had a very small circular bruise on the inside of my elbow, like you will sometimes get with a needle stick if the phlebotomist has a hard time getting the vein. Yikes. I've woken up with marks like this before, so really didn't think much of it and went about my day. Later that afternoon, my husband out of the blue said, "I have to tell you about the dream I had last night." He went on to tell me that a bright light had woken him up, and he rolled over in bed to see me sitting on the edge, talking to 4 or 5 alien-like creatures. He said one of them noticed he was awake and told him to go back to sleep and that I was fine. I showed him the bruise on my arm and all the color drained out of his face. For the record, I don't remember having a conversation with anyone, alien or otherwise. I've had many, many strange experiences that I'd be happy to discuss if anyone is interested or has had anything similar happen to them. All I really want is to be able to sleep peacefully through the night.
Damn, that's intense.
So yeah, that was it.
Woo. Honestly, that was crazy. I think like the weirdest part about it was like all I think is Snake. Like, do they just like delete your memory and they're like, Snake? Ha 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 ha, stupid American human. Like,
stupid
take that.
American.
Like, take this. Like, I don't know.
It's possible. Well, that's it. That's all we have for you guys for this week.
Write us your stories, taleoftwodeadgirls@gmail.com. We want to hear it. We want to hear it all. The dirty stuff, the good stuff, the bad stuff, all of it, everything.
Yeah, if you have like maybe like a crazy ex and there's like a weird like stalker story behind it, or like if you have a friend or something, just, you know, something weird or crazy or whatever, or all right, well, that's it.
See you next time.
We'll meet you
6 feet under.